Hello! I think we are now live on the HMO Heroes Facebook group. If you can see us, can you please give us a thumbs up so we know that we're on? And you know that tonight I've got a real treat for you. We've got Tom Henderson, who's our guest tonight, and Tom is an HMO hero. He started in property at the age of 17, and just a few years later, he's now on his 15th project. And why I think you're going to really love this is because Tom has worked with investors quite a bit. He's actually got international investors that he's working with. And we all know that it can be quite challenging, both finding the investors, building that credibility and keeping those relationships, as well as structuring deals and all that goes along with that. So Tom's going to add real value on all those topics. And I know that you're also really interested in sourcing. And again, this is an area where Tom's got a lot of value to add. So without further ado, let me introduce HMO hero, Tom Henderson.
Woo!
We're on, Tom. I can see that we've got 5 viewers, so we are on this time.
We're this time. We were talking for 20 minutes last time before we realised it wasn't on, so it'll be better this time.
Okay, right. So, Tom, we're going to start because we're going to do a little a fast tour through, finishing by 6 o'clock, and we're going to start with your first property deal at the age of 17. Tell us all about it.
First one, as you can tell from my accent, I'm up north. When I was 17, 5-ish, 6 years ago. You could buy property cheap back then. Really cheap. And it's just after the crash. I can't remember. But yeah, so you could buy property really cheap, especially in certain areas where it was absolute bottom of the barrel. So my first property was one which was 2 up, 2 down. It needed completely gutting. I mean, to the extent where there was a tree growing through the kitchen. A big kind of stump. I literally did all the work myself, apart from obviously your electrics and your heating. Yeah, ripped it all out, did it up to a standard I thought was suitable. Looking back at it now, it's absolutely shocking. But yeah, buy, refurb, refinance, and went on to do that 6 times on the 2 streets next to each other.
I love that you had then 6 houses on the 2 streets, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, it was the same model, exact same model. You 2 up, 2 down, buy for circa X value. It's worth that amount after you put that much in.
Yeah.
So I just rinsed and repeated the same process, which is kind of what I'm doing now with multi-lets. Obviously a different level. So that was my first project, yeah.
So actually, we've got a couple of people in the group I know who commented recently. One's 18, one's 19. So this is quite inspiring for them. Can you tell us about the financing? Because obviously, when you're 17, how did you work that?
It's a little different. It depends where they are in the country. If they're up north, I've got a different company which I got a little bit of money from, and I put the money to work really. So I put it into the property. Like I say, they were really cheap. Bought it, refurbed it, refinanced it. If you are young and you've got a little bit of money, or maybe kind of partner with your parents, invest up north, or not around me because there's nothing around me.
Keeping all nothing top.
Exactly, yeah. Nothing in South Yorkshire. Don't come here. But yeah, I mean, if there is anyone in the group, 17, 18, 19, 20, and they want to chat, just ping me a message, and happily give them half an hour. Just chatting crap, really.
Great. Okay, so give us an idea of the sort of numbers that you're talking about on those sort of deals, on those 6 that you just mentioned.
Christ, I wish you could remember. Purchase circa 40 grand, something like that. Putting in 8 grand, no more than that. Probably less, to be honest, because like I say, everything except the plastering work, the electrics, and fitting obviously the boiler. Everything else was done by me. So yeah, not much outsourced to tradesmen. So it really kept it low. And then sourcing materials correctly as well, going to end-of-line stockists, door suppliers as opposed to B&Q. It all keeps your costs low. So yeah, it's bought for, say, 40, probably about 8 in. It was worth about 65, 70 afterwards. Obviously that was started going up as well. So buy, refurb, pretty much refinance all money out onto the next, and so on.
And so, are you keeping those?
Yeah, kept.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Well, secondly, and there's a lot of people, when I did a little poll, a lot of people were interested in sourcing. So I know you've had lots of these deals coming to you, BMV, below market value. What tips would you give to people? What's your process? And what tips would you give to people who are starting out now?
I'm extremely cheeky when I put an offer in. I hate all the rah-rah, but a lot of people do say that if you don't feel uncomfortable giving the offer, then it's not low enough, and that is so true. You want to give an offer whereby the estate agent looks you in the eyes and goes, "Are you serious?" To which you reply, "Yes, of course I am." Put the offer forward. But yeah, do that. Build a good relationship with the estate agent. They'll generally tell you whether they think it's acceptable, whether they think it's not acceptable. Obviously, they can't tell you the prices, but they give good indications. Another thing is when you're walking around the property, and this comes with experience, note down every single thing you see wrong with the property. Create a comprehensive list to which you will kind of put into a report. Send over to the estate agent and say, "I'm offering this much because of all these reasons. This is what it'll cost to rectify. That's why I'm offering that." As opposed to just firing a number across and hoping for the best.
So that's great advice. So you do a written report for the letting agent. So you do your offer written.
In an email, yes.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I will see what you mean. Yeah, cool. No, that would really help. Okay. So anything else on the sourcing front?
Sourcing front, the best thing you can do, you can do all the marketing in the world you like, but at the end of the day, get in with estate agents and you'll be sorted. Because it's their job at the end of the day to find all these properties, to get all these people coming to them. If you can be at the top of their list, whereby they go, "Tom will take that fits Tom's criteria, blah, blah, blah," whoever you are, that is the single best way. And it's ongoing as well, because the estate agents aren't necessarily going anywhere. Yeah. So develop that relationship is key.
Okay. Now we have had a question.
Ignore him. Okay, what's Nathan said? Would you recommend starting with single lets or getting straight into multi-lets? I'd personally start at the bottom. Start with the crappy little houses which nobody wants. And I say this to anyone who comes to see me or whoever wants a phone call. Start at the bottom, get a crappy little house, gut it yourself, if you can, even if it's on weekends, evenings, whatever. And figure out how a house is put together. That is number one kind of thing you can learn. How everything works within a house. How heating systems work, how electrics work, how plastering's done, what stages the refurb's done. It's absolutely invaluable experience, especially when speaking to trades. So I'd start with a crummy little single let, probably flip it on. You know what, if you break even, you break even, but you've learned all that knowledge, and then work your way up there to the small multi-lets, bigger kind of HMOs, and so on.
Yeah, you make Nate's back on. ITE girl. Oh, girl.
Inside joke, ignore it.
Right, okay. Hi, Nathan, by the way. Who else we got? We got Katie, Istvan, Lucky, Luke, Mark, and Wendy. Hi to you guys. Right, we'll crack on. If you've got any questions, guys, just put them in the comments. Now, on to another thing which I know that a lot of people are interested in, that is working with investors. And you have totally nailed this, because in the last...
Yeah, I wouldn't say I've nailed it. I'm doing okay. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Well, in the last 2 years, you've sort of started seriously into property and started working with investors, but you've also got these international investors, which is fantastic. And I'm really keen to know more about, A, you've got the credibility issues, haven't you, when you're young, and B, you're relatively new in property. So how do you get all those people on board?
I think it's a combination of two things. So number one being your experience and knowing, actually three things. So your experience, knowing you know what you're on about, which goes back to buying a crappy house, gutting it, figure out how it all works, all that stuff. I honestly think that is the number one thing you can do. No matter whether you're speaking to investors, tradesmen, whatever, if you know how everything should be done, how much it should cost, you're going to be fine. So I think that's number one what you need to learn. A book I recommend is The House Builder's Bible. That is a phenomenal book, and it's on sale on Amazon at the moment. So that's number one. Number two would be your social profile. So get out there, meet everyone, post on Facebook, post in all the groups, help as many people as you can. That's great as well. That'll build your social profile, it'll build social proof. And what was the other one? Knowing your area, that's it. Stick to one area, learn it like the back of your hand. Don't go, oh, I'll go Liverpool, I'll go Manchester, I'll go London, I'll go Birmingham, because you're kind of diversifying yourself too much. You're spreading yourself too thin. Learn one area. I operate in pretty much one area, and I know that area street by street. And that's where all the inside information comes in. It's where you get to know your estate agents well. Yeah, so that's kind of the top 3 tips I'd give for.
So that's cool. Just to recap, guys, the top 3 tips. Let me know if I get this right, Tom. So know your stuff, know your developments, know how a house works so that you can put it together, whether you're doing it yourself or with contractors. Once you know what it works, you can do that better. Help build up your social profile by helping as many people as you can, and know your area, work in one area to become a great focus, to become a great sourcer. So can I just ask you about building your profile? Because what sort of step us through what you actually did. Was it a conscious thing, or were you just sort of putting yourself around?
It was and it wasn't. And looking back, I'm sure you're the same. Looking back at what you used to post 2-3 years ago, you look at it now and you just think, oh wow, like you cringe, because it's quite rah-rah. It's quite like, this time next year I'll be a millionaire, and you see a lot of newbies coming through doing that, thinking, I mean, they jump on the course hype and they're like, yeah, woo, let's go. When the realities of it is it's going to take years and years and years. I think, yes, be positive. Yes, know you can achieve, but be realistic as well. Because to those who are potential investors who have money, they've obviously done something right to acquire that money, most likely in business. So they're experienced in life, in business, and they know that it's not easy. So if you're going to them, yeah, rah, 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 they're going to look at you and think, this guy's an amateur, I'm not going to invest. If you go to them, look, I know this is achievable, but here's the realities, then you're a lot more credible and a lot more realistic. So I'd say post videos of yourself, post kind of, not so much motivational quotes, that's a pet hate of mine. Yeah, just, and have personality as well. Don't be another kind of Tony Robbins loving kind of clone, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people out there, because they just all fade into obscurity.
Okay, so one thing I want to ask you is, what about these international investors? Because I know that you work with Chinese investors. Tell us about what your experience of that is and how you got those relationships that enabled you to do that.
My experience is good. I like working with overseas because I've worked with locals before, and I've had some amazing experience with local investors. Also had some pain in the arse experiences because they're there every 5 minutes, changing things, questioning things when they don't know really what they're talking about. The overseas, as long as you keep on track, you keep reporting and telling them how everything's progressing, they seem to be quite fine. It's good working with them. And I mean, acquiring them type of investors, all I'll say is increase your social profile. Get networking, because you never know who you're going to bump into. You never know who knows what, who's connected to who.
Yeah, cool. Okay, and then let's talk about development, because I know that at several points in time you've had several projects all on the go at the same time. Tell us what's going on there and how we can do that to build up,
have some good trades around you. Have some really good trades and try stage it. So if your first fix is getting done on one property, your rip out's getting done on another. So it's different trades in different properties at different times. That's all I can say about that, really. It's about kind of getting it all flowing and running well. And systems do help. And again, having good, reliable trades. That's it, really, on that.
And you sort of DIY'd it, didn't you? What I mean is, you were on YouTube and sort of learning.
Yes.
And then just.
Yeah. So yeah, when I was younger, and I still do it now, if you want to know something, either buy the House Builder's Bible, which I said earlier, which is a great reference point for anything, And just go on YouTube. You don't need these courses to tell you how to do things. YouTube literally has all the information you need. Go on YouTube, Google how does a heating system work, and watch 10 videos, all 5 minutes long. Within an hour, you'll understand it back to front.
Okay, so you know what, well, we all know what it's like in property. There can be some really challenging moments. What advice would you give to people when you get to those points where you think you're going to jack it all in to get you through it?
That was me at the beginning of the week. Literally having a mental breakdown, just sat there going, oh, so much on. And because you get so stressed, you realise you don't do anything.
Yeah.
I think just one step at a time. All you can do is just take the first step and go, right, I'm going to do that. Get that done. Move on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. That's all you can do. And my dad taught me from a young age that tomorrow always comes. So no matter what you're stressing about now, tomorrow will come, and you will be fine. Yeah. So just crack on, get it done. Really, moaning and kind of bitching and moaning about it isn't going to solve anything.
Exactly. And what's your plans for the future, Tom? What you got coming up?
Oh right. I put in a planning application on a 8-bed all ensuite with a 1-bed flat. We'll see how that goes. I've got a feeling I'll probably get knocked back to around 7 ensuite rooms. But I'm going to put it out to QS, then put it out to tender to a few companies. Probably sell it with planning gain, to be honest. I can't really be asked to do it. Yeah. Unless I can finance the majority of the money out, then I'll do it. Pardon?
Sounds good. You make sure you put the deal up. If you do sell it on with planning, I think a lot of people, some people will be interested.
Oh, well, it's a great project and it's not too expensive either. So if anyone's interested, let me know.
Yeah. Well, good luck with the planning.
Thank you. There's a few others as well. There's early stages of a new build, a 4-bed detached, which should be interesting. But again, the architect's drawn the plans up. We've got a lot of amendments, a lot of changes. So that's further down the line once all these are complete.
Okay, I just want to say a quick hi because Paul, I missed you off last time. So Paul, hi. Gary, Joseph, hi guys. Eduardo as well, hi. So just wanted to go in a little bit more. I had a question to ask you and it went. It was about the sourcing. But it's gone. Is there anything else you want to add at the moment?
Not really. I mean, if anyone wants to chat or anything, just drop me a message and I'll happily chat. I've got lots of people I need to get back to already. But yeah, if they ever want any advice or anything like that, I'm not going to charge them. If they want to come up, I'll charge them lunch. But yeah.
That was what it was. It's come back. It's the deal structuring. So when you're JVs, there's lots of different ways to obviously structure your deals. What are some of the structures that you found have worked really well for you, Tom?
So some of the main structures I use, depending upon the investor really, whether I really connect with them and like them, or whether they're more interested in just getting a return on their money. So normally I do either 6% per project, 8 to 10% per annum, depending upon whether it's rolled up or whether it's paid kind of monthly, or 1% per month, very short-term lending. Other deals I've done, I set up a company which is 50-50. They provide all the finance. I have the deal, the refurb team, and the back-end buyer. They're the two main, really, kind of ways of JV'd on property.
So when you have the company together, is that on flips or are you holding?
That is holding. We don't know yet. I think it's set up for flips, but if we can finance, we'll have to change the company structure and hold. But it's not a problem. We'll see. Yeah. We'll all see what the end valuation's like. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, well, thanks for joining us. I know that you, we always try to finish by 6, and I know that you have got somewhere else to be.
Sorry, I get off in 10 minutes.
Really appreciate you coming on tonight, Tom, and driving back manically to be here with us. And thanks for joining us. I will pop your details below so people can contact you. And thanks for coming on. See you later.
Thanks, Steph. Chat to you later.
Bye.